It's been a great journey to sit back and watch. Yeah.
Right around Australia, lots of small communities were beginning to kind of get a bit of an idea that as a church they could set up and start a school.
Thinking at the time was that there were two Christian colleges in Gympie, the Catholics and the Pentecostals, and there was something missing around the evangelical area, and that was the basis on which the initial discussions began.
My husband and I got involved, and we used to go to prayer meetings and other organisational meetings, and after a year or so we started our Christian school.
When the school first opened, it was new, it was small, it was like a family, everybody knew everyone. So you were involved in everything from welcome barbecues, musicals, open days.
From the beginning, I was obviously a founding student. As years progressed, I was obviously part of an associated church. Mum and Dad were involved in the early days. Dad was on the board for many years. They also were very involved with working bees and construction projects throughout the school, throughout the 30 years.
Some of the things that really stick in my mind was the willingness of families to come in and attend working bees. And I remember, groups of families up on the veranda at Kidgell Street sanding off desks that we were able to purchase for $200, the entire school furniture for $200 from the State Department of Works.
And I went for an interview and I got the job and I sold my caravan and I moved to Gympie, and then it all started.
In the early phases, at pioneering phase, particularly when we headed over to the AOG church, it really was, I would best describe it as a Sunday school picnic, because there was so much enthusiasm, and half of the children were up in the main hall and the younger ones were with Joe Schumack down in the garage, I'd call it. An old Queenslander. It had lots of character, a little bit of playground down the bottom.
Initially, of course, Mark had a split classroom because it had a wall down the middle, so he had grade 5 here, I think, or grade 6 and grade 7, so he'd rock between the two.
And I had to find my, safe zone as a teacher where I could see all the class at once.
And then, of course, they got demountables in, and some of those demountables are still here.
That the school began to grow at Kidgell Street.
I mean, you can go to the musicals when they first started. They were just so fun, putting makeup on the kids and the kids' excitement. And it involved the whole school because it was small, so every child was involved in the musical.
Our first ever school musical was Copycats of the King. The musicals were something that I loved doing, and obviously that I ended up teaching high school drama for 7 years.
Paint on their faces, and they loved all their eyeshadow and their lipstick and all their makeup, and they'd sing like angels, and it was just magical.
They do 3 shows, and at the end of it, all the kids got a helium balloon. And you'd walk on stage, people holding all these multiple colours, and the kids were just... It was, so special.
One I remember so clearly coming over and walking over this block of land. It all had bushes all over it. But we looked at it and thought, this is absolutely super for a school ground in a place like Gympie.
I think when we moved from Kidgell Street to here was really special. It was a huge, it was very exciting because there was a lot of work went into trying to find the right place and so on and so forth, and then getting architects to build and all these sorts of things. But it came together and we grew instantly. We came here.
It was just exciting to kind of be at Kidgell Street and then come over here and see the development of the whole site. Had a group of children who have been in the back of a hall, they've been in garages, an old Queenslander, and suddenly they have got room and space and new facilities.
We really believe that God's calling you to this school. We need you to pray about it. And so that's what I did. I prayed about it, and He did lead me to the school. And the beauty of that was that in trusting God, in taking that step of faith, I was able to contribute to the manual arts department, but also enabled to set up an outdoor education program at CCC, which was just so exciting.
There was this feeling that we've made it. We really started to see the growth of the school, and with the growth of the school, obviously growth in staff, and so bit by bit, different people started to come on board.
It has really found its place in the Gympie community.
The Holy Spirit is forever hovering over this school, and I see that as it moves the people within the school.
And the fruit and veggie sales and the fundraise and the working bees and the coming together as you know, that one common goal and vision is certainly where I've seen God's faithfulness.
Towards the end of my time at Cooloola Christian College, it was just amazing to see the continuing development of the facilities on site, from the hall and the oval, the new science block. It was just awesome to see, particularly the beginning of the high school. Numbers of families had their children in the school for all of the primary years, and every year they would be knocking on the door and saying, Mark, when is the high school starting?
Along with my parents, CCC has been one of the most influential in shaping me in the person I am today. It's been the one that has developed my moral compass and my values and Christian values, and I'll be forever thankful for that.
Just the way that families welcomed me into their families is amazing, and I almost feel like getting teary again. But there are so many people and so many families that will be forever friends, and I love that.
A mum coming at the beginning of the year with her child, and she said, look, Mark, I've heard amazing stories about Cooloola Christian College. I've heard that, you guys work miracles with children, and that you can bring children here and they just get changed. And I said, well, look, it's a partnership. It's a partnership between you and us, and it's also going to require the cooperation of your child to come in to the culture of Cooloola Christian College. Anyway, 12 months went by, and this lady turned up pretty much the last day of school and asked for a special appointment. And she came in and she sat down and she said, Mark, she said, I just want to thank you for what the school has done for us, because I much prefer the child that you have given me back at the end of the year than the one I gave you at the start. And I just think that's such a praise point for the efforts of the teachers, the efforts of the college board, and just to sow into the life of the school such that children were changed by being here.
And it takes being humble, it takes being patient, it takes grace and forgiveness and compassion and understanding, and yet he makes it work.
I don't know, I just feel like saying happy birthday, CCC.